Okay, my name is Fred Gori. I'm an old Starahian. As you can see, the lapel badge there. And I'm class 95. We joined Sarah in 1992 and we left in 1995. And Ken Okoth was my classmate. I remember the first day we came to school. It was easy to pick out because he was tall, he was bespectacled, and generally there was something about him. He stood out. He was one of those guys who you could predict 100% that he was going to be successful. It was so easy to predict. So, well, we went through school for 4 years. He had come here with very good grades and he maintained it. Went, did his KCSE 1995 and scored an A minus. I mean, not so good for Starehe, but still very good nonetheless. And from that, he earned a scholarship to St. Lawrence, later on to Georgetown University for his master's. And then he worked in the US for a bit. Then he came back to Africa, beginning with Dar es Salaam, University of Dar es Salaam, where he was a teacher, a lecturer, and then coming back to Kenya. All along, even when he was in the US, he was deeply involved with the matters of Kibra. He was so concerned with Kibra people and Kibra children in particular, and especially education. He grew up there, he grew up in poverty, and he did not want to run away from his roots. So we were not surprised as his classmates when Ken ran for parliament in 2013 and went ahead to win that seat. I mean, it was such a joy to us, a source of pride as his classmates, that one of us actually taken the steps, steps that few of us would be willing to make to run for a parliamentary seat and actually win it. One of the things that Ken did in 2015 was to bring his classmates together. In 2015, we were marking 20 years since leaving high school, and he looked for us, all of us, and a lot of us were here today. He brought us together via our WhatsApp group and said, guys, we need to actually stay together and do something, not just for ourselves, but for Starehe. He not only brought his classmates together, he also brought all Starehians from 1959 to date. He brought them together. We had our WhatsApp group. We formed different class groups, different house groups, even professional groups. So through that, through Ken's efforts, we've been able to stay together as an alumni, and we are supporting the school. So much money has been raised, and more children are benefiting because of all Starehians, and specifically because of Ken's efforts. Ken fell ill a few months back, as you are aware. And you know, this is a guy you have been with, you've been doing Mbuzi together, you've been meeting often, and you don't expect that this will turn out to be something bad. So when we were told that indeed it is cancer, colorectal cancer, and it's actually stage 4, we still did not believe that anything bad would happen. We still saw him as the Ken that we always knew. We were sure he would live. We were sure that he would beat this thing. But then as stuff happens, I mean, he went down. He kept getting weaker. One significant thing, when Ken came back from France after doing his treatment there, he insisted that his classmates meet him. His classmates meet him, and he said it's going to be just food, laughter, and just talk. Let's just have fun. So on a Saturday, that's about 2 weeks ago, we met at Ashaki Grill, and he came very early. He was the first one to arrive. He got there at 4 o'clock. Some of us was strolling in at about 5. He was there pretty early. He was cheerful. He was strong. He was hugging each one of us. And one thing that Ken told us, which will remain with us for a very long time, he told us, you guys, take care of your wives. Take care of your wives, because you may have a lot of money for treatment, but without a support system from your wives and other family members, it's very unlikely you will pull through. That was very significant. And you know, that day is like he had a premonition that this thing wasn't going to go very well. So he brought his classmates, were his closest friends, his family was there, other close friends were there, and that was the last time, I would say, as a class, we met him. Although some of our classmates may met him subsequently at home, but that's the last time we saw him as a class. So when we heard he's passed away, I think it's something that has hit us very hard. We are very sad. He was the glue that held us together. He was a source of pride. We are very, very sad. But again, we say, well, that is the end for each one of us. It's the plan of God, if we can say that. And we know that he planted a seed that will continue to grow. A seed in Starehe and a seed in his classmates. Thank you.
What are some of the memories? How do you remember?
Well, Ken was talented, multi-talented. Here at Starehe, he was not so much into sports, but he was in the band, the school band, which you've seen playing here today. Kabugi was playing the trombone, or what was he playing? The trumpet. He was playing the trumpet. Ken was a powerful speaker. Here in the assembly hall just next to us, he used to give us assembly hall talks, which really inspired us. And he was still very young, and he was inspiring all of us and inspiring the teachers. He was in the debate club, which he headed. He was in Scan, the school magazine, which you've seen today. He was a features editor. So his talents were quite multi-dimensional from very early on. And he stood out. He was a leader. He was a prefect. He became a captain. Great leader. I mean, you could predict 100% this fellow is going to become somebody in the future.